I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Vote for Kamala Harris. And it's actually non-negotiable. Our rights are on the line, folks. Our reproductive rights. Come on. Go vote blue.
No longer 1937.
She's not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story. With a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years. The cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business. Thanks.
Okay.
A few moments later.
No. If you have not subscribed to Alboa Cinema, this is where you will get everything. So subscribe. Subscribe. So now, karibu to Alboa Cinema. Now, I talked about this film, Snow White. Yes, it's not made for me, I know, but I'm talking about it based on the business of film. And I think I had, if you check on my channel, I did do that video and I was reacting to all the nonsense that had come on about it. And of course, the main actress, she really did do a number on the PR of this particular film. So as it came out few days ago. So what happened here is that I'm here to look at the numbers to see what people are saying about it, the people who've watched, the critics and whatnot. And as I've said before, for me it is the fans that hold more weight than the critics. I'm not saying the critics don't have any value, but it's the person that pays to watch something that really, in my opinion as a filmmaker, whose opinion I care most about. So let's see. If you can see here now, this Rotten Tomatoes. I use it kind of just a loose gauge of where the films are. We'll check out there's IMDb, there's the different others that also have their own ranking systems. So if you can see here, top all critics 42%. That is like really bad. 210 reviews. Top critics 29%. Okay, this is the reason I'm laughing, is that critics most of the time they are paid, so normally they give it a good review. But in this particular case, it doesn't seem to have worked. As you can see here now, something that I found very interesting is that there is kind of this weird shift where there is fans that love it. I don't know if it's the majority, because it's really to tell how good it will do. We'll look at the numbers a bit later. But do the fans love it? Did they pay in big numbers to watch it? And if you look at the people that are criticizing or didn't watch or for whatever many reasons that I've discussed before, check the video. What is going on? Is it really like, was it a success? Was it a failure? You have to remember, this is the movie Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's the movie that actually put Disney on the map. It's the first animated feature film to ever exist, full feature. And it's actually something, in my opinion, for what it was, and in fact, I have to say that a lot of the storytelling there was very superior. So that's why you see all the remakes. People are just doing remakes. There's no original content, if you like, original ideas, original for movies. Say that it's an IP that already exists. So they've really beaten this Snow White to... they've beaten... So there's... Okay, I was talking about verified audiences. You can see there, 74%, 1,000 plus. Now, all audiences, 20%, 10,000 plus ratings. So there is... As you can see, like here, there's 10,000. Here it's 1,000, 74%. So there seem to be such a big shift. I suspect, like here, it's just people who are just couldn't take any more of it. As you'd seen the intro of this video, the main actress really went out to alienate most of the traditional fan base of this franchise. And for that reason, you have this, because I think some of these were not people watched it. They're just people like, F with this nonsense, we are not even going to support. This is an actual, if you like, you can call it movement or what, of people showing dissatisfaction with how the Hollywood elites are doing business. And let's now move to the numbers. Yes, the numbers. So I normally use Box Office Mojo. I find it to be, on aggregate, the most accurate in terms of to show us. Let's see. To show us, let's look at those numbers there. So if you can see that, okay? Snow White 2025. I will talk about some of the reasons why I think this is happening. But now, domestic, 44 million. That is opening weekend, as they say. So they have these cycles. It's opening weekend. Sometimes, depending, it starts Friday off to Sunday. Sometimes it's Thursday, like previews. Or there's a word they use for it. But I'll find it. I'll put it down here, and then you can. Yeah. So the weekend, opening weekend, which is this last one, it raised $44 million. Domestic, international 43 million, so for a total of 88 million. Now, what is the budget? Budget, my friend. Let's look. Yeah, so this is an article. So, no, this is Captain America. Sorry, guys. I'm also like I'm doing Captain America next. So yeah, so a full review plus the box office. London bomb territory. So basically what's happening right now, this is the Hollywood Reporter. Hollywood reporters have been there. But at least, for things like this, you could possibly see where that is. So let's see. I wanted to find out the budget. Yes, here it is. So so there, the budget of because of its hefty production budget of $270 million, before another $100 million or so in marketing costs. So this movie in total costs $370 million. Okay? So the opening weekend, which is usually should be the best weekend, and how well the movie does as it goes along, it depends on word of mouth. So this movie has had issues. Remember, from the main actress, or talking about she didn't like the old one. They wanted to modernize, which means they just want to destroy the IP and put modern narratives of wokeness in it, which is what they did on this one. And in my opinion, the fact that the main actress was trying to remove the romance from it, They are adding the girl power element, or she's going to be the leader. So even here, they remove, actually, on this film, they remove the prince. There are so many additional characters that don't make any sense, but they're there primarily to push a certain political agenda. This is actually, it was, when they tried it, like, I had an inclination how they were going because of how the actress was saying, oh, it's not going to be her finding true love, it's blah, 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 she's going to be a politician or an activist. So, because even here, like, you'd see the love, how do they call it? The person who replaces the prince is just some guy, some artist like type who is out of work. Then they become thieves because so they're trying to show this evil queen has ruined the economy. It's one of the most, in my opinion, worst kind of retelling of an old story that's happened, and it's showing here in the box office. So United Kingdom. So this is just a breakdown. So if you go to like Box Office Mojo, you're able to find the numbers. So this is very low because they have $370 billion as the cost. I suspect that's like 400 million. Like, Jesus Christ. Hey, these guys, they spend money. So for it to break even, there was something. Yes, there was the last one I was checking. Oh, sorry. Again, there's something I need to read for you this to understand the difficulty that they're in. This is going to bomb. It's probably going to lose the studio something like $150, $200 million. See, they spent so much money, and you see the studio doesn't keep all the money. They keep like half of the money from the theaters. And it's usually like a split half. Sometimes Disney get more, like 60%, but normally it's like 50%. So let's see. So the mood was grim Sunday on the Disney lot as Snow White opened behind expectations to an estimated $43 million domestically. You see, if this domestic America does not accept the first weekend, your movie is kind of doomed. It's very rare that a movie just starts doing better after the first weekend if it does badly. This is badly, but I know some of us cannot really fathom how $43 million can be bad. But if you spent $370 million, this is horrible. And then you're not keeping like the whole chunk of it. Think about all the other costs that are accrued. So estimated $43 million. Basically, globally, the live action remake of the iconic 1937. This thing is old. Imagine you're trying to take some old ancient thing, classic like this, and you do this to it. I can't. I really hate this kind of bastardization of old art. Instead of creating original new content, like I can't believe that an industry with this much resources cannot just come up with original ideas, or like it's just the weirdest thing. You could literally just canvas the whole earth and find the best stories and do but pressure. Now, final weekend numbers released Monday showed the domestic opening coming in low at 42.2 million, ditto for global. The peak took in $43 million overseas for a global start of 86.1 million, according to Comscore. That's another aggregator of these numbers. While these hauls wouldn't normally spell disaster for a female-targeted peak, this is the thing. Because, when you're like your niche, like you maybe want to do a female-centric movie, like, Barbie made $1 billion plus, you have to know what that particular demographic really wants. There are general stories and how it's expressed, but when you're really targeting like just females, for example, you can't just remove romance, and because you guys in Hollywood are feminists that you don't want romance, and you think that people are just going to it's not going to wash the emotion packed behind the princess narrative. like Simnona, like online, everybody's like, every woman is like, hey, you have to give me princess treatment. You think feminism was, you think you can compete with that? You can't. Unless you're making money, you have your NGO, you got a job through that women empowerment stuff. You can't really, and that one is just pandering, but you also want princess treatment. Anyway, that's like a little segue. While this has no explained disaster plus, so Snow White has found itself in potential bomb territory because of its hefty budget of 270 before 100 million or so in marketing cost. Based on initial ticket, oh Jesus, what's going on? Based on initial ticket sales and mixed word of mouth, Snow White may have trouble getting to 300 million. Why is it doing that? Or why is it doing that? Okay. All right. Well, you're having trouble to 300 or 400 million globally, well short of a box office safety net of 500 million. It has to make $500 million minimum. Like, it's not even enough. Several rival studios execs and box office pundits tell THR consider that 2019's Dumbo, remember Dumbo, the elephant, they also did a live action. I really didn't like it. I didn't bother. Which debuted to 45 million domestically, topped out at 353 million against a 170 million budget. So you understand, this Dumbo did better than Snow White on opening weekend. They spent 170. These ones have spent 370. They made 353 million. What do you think this one is going to fall? This one is going to have a difficult time. I don't think they will not make their money back. I'm actually quite confident now, which I had predicted actually, because of they inserted all these politics. They ruined the story. They just nobody likes the woke stories. Like, I don't know why people are so gung ho, but I suspect they did it when they were still thinking they had power. Right now, people just don't care, and they're just ignoring. And such female-centric, family-ish kind of movies, they normally clean out, even if they're not particularly good, just the name of it will push people. But this is difficult. Now, over Chris, so Disney supporters will say if anyone is capable of pulling off a fairy tale ending, it's them. Case in point, over Christmas 2024, many in the media immediately wrote off Mufasa. That one is also... because they stayed true to the story, they just did like both, like the new animation, like the one we're using on Book of Cat, things to look more realistic. So that was the real main change with that, when it opened to 34 million domestically. So this one opened to very lower than the live action peak did 7 times its opening number, a rare feat to top out at 718 million globally. Elemental was another movie that deserved blah blah. So that one. It would say, because there are a number of things. First of all, the actress, she went all out attacking what is potentially half of what her market would be, Trump supporters. She really said things like the video you watched at the beginning, oh, I don't want your business. Like the arrogance of these people. And you see this elitism. People don't like it, man. I don't know what's wrong with this. I think when you are locked up in this world, this world where you are the main actor in everything, I don't want to register. You see, outlets like BBC are trying to sweeten it. Disney's Snow White film tops box office despite bad reviews. But you see, any film of this caliber would top box office. So at some point, because it's the biggest film of the weekend, worldwide release, the most marketing and what, it will top. But in reference to what? Because it doesn't, for against any other film, it's doing extremely poorly. So what I was saying, what I'm saying here is, for this particular film to have done this badly, because I've been warning quite a bit about how we are taking these activist stories too seriously. It's become kind of our mainstay in terms of making money, NGO funding, or to do those NGO specific titles and whatever it is that they're pushing, and that has really come in my opinion, it's not going to grow the industry because they don't have cinematic appeal. That means you won't have bums on seats, you won't sell tickets, you won't be able to take this internationally. It's all a cascade of things. And right now, these guys are trying to use the biggest platforms, the biggest brands to push these agendas. And people are not having it. Because every full film has a lesson in it. But it's in how you handle it. But if these Hollywood elites are going to look down on people, it's like you're preaching down on people. At the same time, you're really corrupting and destroying art and brands they grew up with and that they really got a lot of satisfaction from the original stories. You don't improve on them. Instead, you use the same art to beat them down politically and socially. It becomes really tedious. And in the end, they ask themselves, we are the ones who are paying, right? We are the ones who are paying. Why am I listening to this person? Why am I taking abuse from this person? I mean, let's think about this for a second. You are the person who is basically keeping this thing going. You're the people who created it through your buying tickets, merchandise, talking about it, being excited about these brands. And then later on, these people who are actually rich and privileged and whatnot, they take up. I have nothing against being rich and privileged, but it's how you use it, just like everything else. But they come out, first of all, they don't get new ideas. They just take what was there initially and then bastardize it. And they use it as a political battering ram where they're always attacking one side. Do you understand? Like they used it, especially in America, right now it's like this wokeism. That's like those leftist ideas and whatnot of victimhood and identities. You've seen it all. I've talked about this before. So it's not to regurgitate. But that is what has driven that a lot of these brands are now becoming stale. People don't like them. They don't like being talked down to. And you can see from the way this actress speaks, she's just one of the most disrespectful, arrogant people I've ever seen. Why would the producers stand for this? Because they are losing money. But because their ideology is so strong in Hollywood, they do not want to touch such people. There's such a person that my friend, I will sue them back and forth. You come out there talking about, the original is so dated. Where is yours? Have you created anything original of yours? You just come in to destroy what somebody else created. Some of the greatest IP, some of the most valuable IP that has ever been created, you've brought it to the fucking ground. You've destroyed it. Man, anyway, I had to really do this follow-up video because it's not about I told you so. I don't care what I say. But for those of us who are in this industry, especially in Kenya, this is not the way. We are not activists. We are entertainers and maybe some cultural ambassadorship of some sort. So let's put our best foot. There are so many good stories being told that we can tell about who we are as people and whatnot. And as long as we are not trying to preach to people, just try and write good stories, man. Just get interesting characters. Let's try and entertain people. Let's try and give people an escape. People don't want you nose in the air, people trying to tell them how bad you are unless you're not being an activist here, following that, or LGBTQ this, or women that, or that. Personally, I'm tired of that nonsense. You can do very nuanced, beautiful stories to show all these things. It's been done before. But right now, because there's so many mediocre people in there, it ain't. Alright? I don't know what you think, people. Am I being out of line here? As I said, I watched this one. This one is not particularly for me, but it's the business. If something people are spending $400 million on. Serious business, my friend. So, I don't know what you think about it. I don't know if you agree with my sentiments. If you don't, if you do, please add your comment down here. And please, if you can see, down, this one. This, this one. There's till number there. So remember, we are in production of our feature film, The Book of Ka, Chapter X, in the Book of Kai universe. So we are creating our own universe, not just complaining. So we are doing a crowdfunding. So you can contribute anything. You can go to the till number that you can see there, 5158365, 5158365. And then we have PayPal. PayPal, you can see there, it is sejo2001 at gmail.com. Sejo, SEJO 2001 at gmail.com. Please make your contributions, your donations, anything, even if it's 50 shillings, 2 cents, put it there. So we are continuing slowly production. So, a lot of these things, because they are so expensive and it's a bit aspirational. If you have not seen it, let me show you guys here. Let me show you. Non-Apple. This one here. This is, if you come to 3D Africa Media, the page right there. This is what is there. The 8-minute 55-second proof of concept. So this one is there. So go watch this over there. Go watch this one. If you corner there, what do you think?
Unachekia hapa hivi mtaani.
Umetulia hivi kwa kona. You guys, go watch that one over there. Go watch that one over there and do the necessary. Otherwise, subscribe, share this video, comment, leave a like or dislike. It's alright. Every engagement is approved for algorithmic reach. The algorithm. Otherwise,